I don't usually people don't like calling that Nathaniel. Um, hey there, everybody. We are live now. Welcome back to another around 30 minutes, and it's been a minute for me actually. To be honest, I was just talking to my guest today, and I remember I was going to do these a lot of times. I was doing these like once every day, to be honest. And I think I ran out of people to interview. But finally, this young man, he hit me up and said, "Hey, let's do one." I was like, "All right, good man. It's been a while." So today I have joining me is Mr. Nate Armstrong. He's a good buddy of mine. I've known him for a couple years now, I think, and everything. How are
Yeah.
you doing? Thank you so much for joining me and taking time out of your busy schedule.
Hey, thanks, Matt. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Good.
And how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in the mood. I'm in the zone right now because this is what I got to do for these things. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm just rambling. But dude, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I know we've been talking about this for at least a month or so, or at least maybe even longer than that.
Oh
Trying to get
yeah.
you on and everything. You're a busy man. You're a daddy and everything. You got your little
hmm
little munchkin going on
I
and
do.
everything. Um, so basically, if nobody knows what this is, basically what I do is I interview people out in the fandom. Try to do a positive thing. Try to get people to know each other and everything, all that good stuff. I do, reviewers. I do anybody. I do my friends and everything, and all that good stuff. So first thing I always ask is, what do you collect?
I currently collect masterpiece scaled Transformers,
Hmm.
pretty much exclusively. I have. I got into the Mythic Legions for a heartbeat. Um,
Oh,
Actually, this is coming up on 1 year. I'll be going to the New Jersey Toy Con next weekend. Where
oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I met them at last year's. I was there with Kincaid. I was helping him out at his T-shirt booth, and
Hmm.
I walked over, and I've been eyeballing these things for a while, but I hadn't seen them in person. And I was like, $35, why not? I'll dip in and I'll check this out. And that started a rabbit hole that got out of control pretty quickly. But
Wow.
yeah, I'm done with that. Except I'm gonna be seeing them again next week, and they've got some pretty sweet releases. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll just drop another $35 instead of another, several hundred. But
You know that ain't gonna happen. Come on now.
but yeah, mostly masterpiece scaled Transformers. I stopped collecting Generation One because they don't do much. Um,
Hmm.
I love still having the ones that I have because they're fun to transform and mess around with, and they're great to give to people who come over and are intimidated by the masterpiece. But I still want to get them engaged and uh, understanding why it is I might enjoy this hobby. So
Mhm.
I'll hand them one of the G1s because they should be able to transform a Bumblebee or Gears.
Mm. Yeah,
And
definitely.
so,
Well, crap, we lost video feed, so now everybody just seeing our icons, and I apologize for that. That is Hangouts is for you. I still can see us. I hope y'all can hear us. Let me see if I can hear us. Can y'all? I think y'all can hear us. I swear Hangouts. I don't know.
hmm.
Yeah, they can hear us, but they just can't see us.
All
Huh.
right.
Well, that is
Well,
awesome.
everybody knows you're beautiful, Deluxe. You don't have to
Yeah,
keep rubbing it in
yeah,
their face.
that's true. But well, we'll move on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what it's Hangouts. I can see I can see Nate just fine. So maybe it'll just be yeah. Larkus Lair said yeah, Hangouts is being phased out, so they probably just don't even care. But anyways, we'll move on. So well, with the Mike Kincaid, I know you know Matt Kincaid. That is, you are in the presence of internet celebrity whenever you're with that man.
Fact.
Everything. So, how did you meet those guys? I know you know some of the guys, from Blackout Shot and everything. How did you meet those guys?
Sure. I met them through the Chosen Prime,
Okay.
the vendor of my choice. So um, I was in a chat group with Eric Rosenquist, which I think a lot of the community is aware of him, and
Hmm.
he really helps us out a lot whenever he goes to convention. A lot of those first photos you see are from his phone. So I was yeah. And Williams, who used to do a lot of chug customization. The three of us were in a chat. We added another dude. But Eric pushed me to talk to Brendan more often and get more personal with the owner of TCP. And right off the bat, Brendan said, "You need to start talking to Mike Kincaid." And then because we're both into video and photography and we were creating these little shorts at the time, and I've since stopped doing that because it's hard I'm a professional videographer. It's hard to use your profession as your hobby as well.
You get bored of it. I'm sure. Not bored, but it's oversaturated, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is stare at the computer screen for another 2 hours. I'm there. Anytime I'm editing. So, but anyway, so through them, Mike and I worked one TFCon together at TCP, and then we became friends. I kind of forced myself upon him.
Oh, you force yourself. That's called rape. That's called rape. That's all right.
I friend raped him. I was like, "Look, man, I am going to be shooting an event in Pennsylvania. How about I swing by and check out your collection?" And he was open to it, and made his couch available, and we've been really good friends since.
That's a good dude. He's a good man. Yeah. He's a beautiful man. So who is it better to know? Is it better to know Mike Kincaid, or is it better to know Jed Fargo?
You can't know one without knowing the other.
That is true. I think they're attached at the hip. I've never seen them, in a separate. Every time you see them, they're always together.
Well, I think that and let's add Levy in there too.
You can't forget Levy. But what I want to say before Levy is, he has denied me around 30 minutes for a long time. I'm just going to put that out there. Mm-hmm. He will not come on my show. So
yeah. The three of them are a well of knowledge.
Oh yeah,
between them. So Mike has a lot of the same similar interests that I do. So we can trade tips, tricks in the video and photography realm, and then Levy just basically knows every actor and actress that ever existed, and that and Jed is a whiz with all the computer stuff. So
he helped me with my homework. Yeah. I'm doing my homework, and he's like, I had to send him because he whipped up some stuff real quickly, and I'm just like, God dang, man, it took me forever just to do a little thing, and you're just like, typing and everything. I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah. Man, all three of them guys are wonderful. I met them. I actually got to be on Blackout Shout the last week and everything, and I had a wonderful time and everything. So good times. So, let's get back to the questions. Sorry about that. So why do you think you collect? Have you always collected as a child? I don't think we collected as a child. We just played with toys. But as you went through your teenage years and now for your adult life, why do you think you collect?
All right. As my dad would say, to make a long story short, and then this is just going to be a really long story. So to make a long story short, my father was very into making sure that the toys that I had to play with were served some other purpose other than war, right? So Transformers were allowed because they had the engineering component, and but I didn't have any G.I. Joes. And the Star Wars figures I had were few and far between. And that was usually like grandma would get those for me and there was nothing dad could do about it. So, but then, I think that the reason I collect now has a lot to do with psychological damage. I came back from, my first year at university, and I was like, you know what? I think that I've established myself as a normal guy. I can bring my Power Master Optimus Prime and just stick him on a shelf, and it'll be fun. It'll be cool. It won't be like too out of control. Hey, Mom, Dad, where are my toys? Where's my box of Transformers? Oh, I don't know. I think you should check the attic. oh, I don't know, you should check the basement. And the two of them played off, oh, ask your mom, ask your dad. They played off each other for a year. And then finally they were like, yeah, I think your mom might have put them in the garage sale. Yeah, I think your dad might have put them in the garage sale. So I was just destroyed. And then it was about 6 months to a year later, a friend of mine said she wanted to go to Toys R Us to see if she could pick up some art supplies. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was like, sure, why not? I have nostalgia for Toys R Us. We walk in there, and I see this again. Oh, sorry, F-bomb there. Bleep it. I see Magnaboss.
Oh, wow, that's a while back.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and it said Transformers Beast Wars on the box, and I had no idea, none, that there was still Transformers being made. I thought G2 killed it, and it was done. Yeah. So, and this is, I'm 41 years old, so this is pre-internet, really.
Oh, yeah.
So, but then after I bought Magnaboss, it was kind of a slow trickle. I was like, I'm not getting any more. I'm an adult now. I'm going to college. I'm going to meet a wonderful woman who will look down upon transforming toys. And I definitely did meet a wonderful woman who looks down on transforming toys, but that would be years later. So then it became the addiction of eBay. And as soon as that came along, and I drank too much in college too, so I'd be hammered in the computer lab at 1 a.m. trying to win bids. And, it just snowballed. And then, we all go through waves where I would decide I wasn't going to collect anymore. And I'd stop for a little while, and then I'd realize on what I missed out on, and jump right back in. And it just depended on who I was dating at the time. If they were cool with it, then I might pick one up. If they weren't, then I probably wouldn't. So there you have it.
Very
addiction.
Nice.
It's an addiction.
Yeah, the eBay thing, man, that's what got me. I found eBay around 2001, 2002-ish, around that time. RID and Armada was coming out, and I just saw the G1 stuff, and that just hooked me on. I got, I started, eBay and stuff, and it was, eBay's the devil. So,
when did never mind. Go ahead. I lost my thought.
Okay. I don't know when did it.
Sabertron.com. Sabertron.com. Also,
Sabertron.
I feel like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like that came along very early, and they were just starting to get their photo gallery together. Just starting.
I was a TFW guy. I didn't really go into Sabertron. I was a TF 2005. So that's okay. That was my introduction to social media, or not? I guess it's called social media for Transformers. It wasn't Facebook or any of that stuff. I started with the the forums, and all that stuff, TFW and everything. So it was around back that time, everything, all good stuff. So yeah, it was. I remember getting on TFW. I didn't know about the fandom. Like I collected toys. I started collecting toys. I didn't know there was a whole lot of people that did it. So right. I would get on TFW, and you would see the forums, and everything. I would talk back and forth to people and everything. It's really exciting back then.
Yeah,
but now now it's just a cesspool of whining and complaining. But anyways,
well, that's like what I said last night. I was like, man, I can't wait to talk to an actual Transformers fan, somebody who just loves Transformers with all of his heart.
I do, and it's a fault sometimes. Some people just think, well, you just love everything. Well, I don't love everything, but I try to give everything a fair shot. I don't crap on it all the time. I don't sit there like in my reviews. I don't, I'll point out the negative things and everything, but I don't harp on it. I just don't sit there and say blah, blah, and everything. Then I don't go to the board saying, yeah, this is crappy. You shouldn't buy this. Right. I try to be positive about everything. So, but that's just me. So who is your favorite character, and why is he or she your favorite character?
I think that Prowl has become my favorite character.
Oh, really? Okay.
Through the IDW stuff, because I mean, certainly G1, probably Ultra Magnus would have been my favorite back in the day, but there's so much more development that IDW brought to things and complexity, and and Prowl became a serious badass, and the MP of that figure, once, I mean, I completely souped him up. I got him the hands and the 2 cannons and a couple extra guns and the stickers and everything, and he's just a phenomenal figure. It's the way that they, in my opinion, they should have stuck with the real world vehicles and finished the line with real world vehicles. And then if you want to do another line and make them cartoony, fine. But anyway, I digress. I love that Datsun mold. I love the Datsun mold.
Yeah, it's a good mold. You're speaking to T2X6, man. He loves the real world kind of vehicle modes and everything. So he's always pushing for that.
Right. Transformers in disguise, not Transformers that obviously look like something outside of our world. So.
Exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point. I never really thought about that. So how do you like to relax, man? I know you're a busy guy and everything. So when you get some downtime, which is probably very seldom, what do you like to do?
Well, we tend to have a lot of people over for grilling and poolside.
Oh,
so
okay.
we got it when we bought this house. I came along with a pool, so I do a lot of that. But honestly, I come down here if I am stressed out. I come down to my toy room and I take something off the shelf and I transform it. It's just and I've definitely I've broken some figures that way. Like
yeah.
I'm looking at you, Afterburner from Warbertron. The day my cat died, I broke that fucker right. Oh, sorry, I broke that guy right in half. And
sorry about losing your cat. Kind of, usually, if I lost Gator, man, I'll be a mess. I'm going to be a mess. So
so coping mechanisms.
Well, that's cool. Very nice. Yeah. So, Mr. Input in the chat room, he asked, "Do you wish the Dreamwave comics continued?"
Do I wish No, I think that ending a cycle and having it revamped by somebody else is just fine.
Okay.
But I mean, Dreamwave did a great job with the books. But again, like as I go through waves with the collecting, I also stop reading the comic books because that gets expensive too, right? So you gotta pick your battles as your family size increases, and there are methods of getting these things for free, but that's not really my Jimmy Jam. So I haven't purchased a comic in probably 2 or 3 years. So do I wish they continued for everybody's sake? Yes. But for me personally, the world is going to continue to expand, and I'm going to have to learn about it some other way.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, with comics, it's kind of like with music. People have their favorite stuff as far as music, but eventually it gets kind of stale and old and has to be replaced. Like I love hair metal back in the day. It got replaced by grunge. Grunge got replaced by the rock rap or whatever, Limp Bizkit and all that stuff and everything. So it just goes through phases. Just like comics does. Eventually it just gets kind of played out. They're doing the same thing. So it has to be kind of rebooted, I guess you want to say. But, it's I haven't read comics. I have like 5 long boxes full of stuff. I collected it in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. It's been a long time, but there's some really good stories out there. I don't know where to begin. There's so much out there. So
yeah, and I mean, as with the collecting in my comics, I really like some of the G.I. Joe versus Transformers stuff that was really gritty and and the drawing. There are some G.I. Joe versus Transformers that the drawing is very bubbly, and I don't like that. Yeah. They're very simplistic, round characters, and then there were some that were just, you almost couldn't tell who the character was. They were so intricate. It wasn't borderline Bayverse, but I think you get what I'm saying. But I
Yeah.
actually,
No. Okay. Yeah.
I like that better. Like to have them, have the detail and the dirt drawn on instead of being a completely clean red Optimus Prime. So
Yeah.
And the comics have taken a turn for being a little bit more simple. So
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to read. I just got done reading the first issue of the new stuff and everything. So it's really slow. Issue 7, Chivas, is kind of getting a little better. Is what Mr. Jed said. So I'm excited to read that.
Yep.
Well, this is the part of where I ask about your last stuff. So it's nothing. I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Okay.
So if you could have one last meal, what would that last meal be?
Well, we might start it with a brownie sundae.
Okay.
Like if we're getting crazy, then I think I need a brownie sundae in there, and I'd prefer to finish it. So it might as well be first, right?
Exactly.
And then, oh God, it doesn't. I would like to go back to Nozawa Bar, which is in Beverly Hills, and they only do 10 people per seating, 2 seatings on Friday, 2 seatings on Saturday, and it's going to run you about $300 to $500.
Nice.
And they'll give you about 30 rounds of sushi and other Japanese cuisine, and every single bite that hits your mouth, it's just orgasmic. So I would go back to Nozawa Bar.
Okay, very nice. Never heard of it, but I'm sure it's pretty good. I'm not a big sushi guy. It has to be cooked for me, but that's because I'm in the South. That's how we fry everything. So
well, they do some deep fried sushi, which is no longer raw fish anymore. But you can get
right. Yeah.
I'll ease you in, Matt. Come visit me.
I'm trying, man. I would love to move up that way, but whatever. So, are you a cereal guy? And if you are, what's your favorite type of cereal?
I no longer eat cereal.
Okay.
There's too much unknown. Too much sugar. I mean, even with Subway got sued about 10 or 15 years ago for using cellulose in their bread instead of flour. So they could so it was technically no longer bread. So they got sued because they were saying we bake our bread fresh daily. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not bread, and the stuff in there you can't digest. So if I'm going, so I think they changed their recipe since then, but
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
But since that, I tend not to buy a lot of store-bought grain products unless it's a grain that I can then do something with. So cereal falls into that category. I just don't trust them. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hate to be a downer.
You ain't got to apologize for that, man. That's your life. That's how you want. That's fine. Cool. Well, to move on. So, what is one of your favorite movies? Like, what is one movie that you could just, if you're flipping through the channels or anything, you could watch it at the beginning, the middle, at the end. It doesn't matter. You're always going to be, intrigued or interested in that movie. I know there's a lot of movies, but what's one movie off the top of your head that you think that is just so wonderful?
Matrix.
Oh, nice. Very nice choice.
And if I'm being artsy, The Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. But that's not an easy watch. So I wouldn't, unless you're looking to learn the craft of making movies, I'm not going to say, hey, everybody go watch this movie from 70 years ago. But it is phenomenal. You can pause it anywhere and print that frame out and put it on your wall. It's beautiful.
Okay, nice, very nice. Okay, good choices. So are you into concerts? And what was your first concert you ever went to, if you are?
My first concert was probably a Phish show.
Oh, really? So that was way back in the
day. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I graduated high school in 1997, so Phish was kind of at their pinnacle. Yeah. And I grew up in Maine. And and I had the long curly hair and the hemp necklaces and the Birkenstocks and the whole deal. So yeah, I went to a bunch of Fish shows, but it might have been BB King.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Very nice.
trying to remember when my dad took me to that show, and but it might have been BB King, which was phenomenal because I thought he'd be dead and he lived another 20 years. But like, I thought this was like the last chance I was going to get to see BB King.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, when you're young, you really misunderstand age. You know? But,
well, yeah, BB King played a lot. He played a lot on Bill Street over here in Memphis and everything. I always wanted to. I love watching Stevie Ray Vaughan. I think he is just. I mean, the way he uses that guitar. I mean, it's and then Prince. I love Prince. I've always mentioned Prince and everything. I wish I would have got to see that man in concert. He was one of my favorite. I love listening to his music, but man, he is so talented. And musically, just gifted to, musically gifted, all around, I don't know how many instruments, I think 8 to 10 instruments he can play. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But Stevie Ray Vaughan, every time I watch him on YouTube a lot, and just, man, it's just a beautiful sight to see him play guitar and everything. Same for BB King too. I mean, which is,
I mean, if I have one regret, it's not having not seen Chris Cornell.
Oh, yeah.
There's a talent. I missed that boat.
Yeah, there's a lot of you always appreciate what is in front of you right now, because it could be gone just like that. You don't know, man. I mean, it's
I appreciate you, Deluxe.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Man. This is awesome. So, all right. So, if you had to stop collecting, would you be satisfied with what you have in your collection? And if you started over again, would you collect a different way?
Okay, so if I stopped right now, I do it all the time. I walk down here and I look at this and I go, shit, yeah, that is definitely, God, I'm sorry, Deluxe.
That's fine.
Anyway,
I
go, oh yes. I've got a really full collection here. I mean, my Devastator is still Hercules, but I have a representation,
Okay.
I'm not really missing much. Now, Kincaid busts me every once in a while because every time we see each other, I'm like, I'm almost done, man. I only need a couple more, and I got everything I want. And then, the XTB Quintessons get announced, and I'm like, well, I do kind of need those.
I do, yeah, exactly.
But it happens all the time. If I had to stop collecting tomorrow, I'd be okay, and I could sell a few things and not be upset. But I'm a collector. I collect, so I'm not looking to sell anything else, and I hope I never have to stop. But I don't understand this replacing, or he's going to be my statements. Because I'm a collector. If there's a new interesting version of, we'll use Hound for example. Takara Hound is coming out. I've got the Make toys. I've got the Fans toys. I have a Generation 1. I even picked up the Siege because it's an interesting character. Maybe Hound's my favorite character. So, there's no reason to just not collect a toy because you already have a version of it in my eyes.
Oh yeah, no, you're come on now. You in my collection, I will get everything. Now, so let me, if you start collecting again, would you collect a different way, or would you just still collect the way you are now?
If I were to collect again, I have a friend who is a high art collector, so he's spending way more money per piece than we are. And he gave me a bit of advice before the combiners came out, any of the TFC combiners. They were showing pictures of Uranus, and I think Feral Rex they were also teasing out, and I had them all pre-ordered, and You may remember that
And
took like a year and a half before they actually dropped one. So I had them pre-ordered, canceled them. And anyway, he said to me, is this going to be the thing? Is this going to be the best Superion that ever comes out?
No.
And the answer is no. I mean, at the time, it was a thing to behold. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, at the time, yeah, exactly, yeah, it was, yeah.
But it is definitely not the end all be all. He's barely standing up right now. So
yeah.
But so would I collect differently? Absolutely, I would. I would still probably go Masterpiece, but I would have a little bit more patience and forget that statement I just made about buying all the hounds. I would concentrate more on actually like your buddy Greg for Mercy, who buys stuff to check it out, make sure that he likes it, and if he doesn't, he gets rid of it
quickly.
And I think that is the way to go. And he probably takes a $5 hit, so he got to play with a toy for a couple of days, and it cost him $5, and that's a good rental fee. Sometimes I'm sure he makes a profit. So I would collect a little bit more like that, I think. Just for space, right? Like I lived in New York, and I still have a small house. I got this thing's a 6x8, I think I'm in right now. And my toys have to stay in here. They're not allowed anywhere else. So
yeah, well, mine did too, but then my wife I started trickling stuff out and everything. Oh man, we got internet celebrity in the house. We got Mike Kincaid in there, and he said,
"Oh sweet, hello, Mike."
He said Nate has been almost done buying stuff for like 2 years now.
Yeah. Yep. And so like I told myself, I've got a Superion, I don't need another one. And same thing with Menasor. But I have the Fans Project Menasor, and then
you need something better.
And then these came out at a reasonable price, the X-Trans bots. So I was like, all right, I'll get on that. And then I was looking at the pictures of Road King, and I was like, well, clearly I have to have that. I can't not get that. And so now I have a complete set, and I wanted robot mode. I'll leave my Fans Project in combined mode, but I wanted a robot mode. So now I'm looking at, I'll get Fans Toys aerial bots, and I definitely want a Devastator. But then I'm done, Mike. Then I'm done.
Yeah, you ain't done. That's whatever. Well, there's some people that quit, but they're called quitters for a reason. Anyways, so if you owned a third-party company, what would be your first release, and what scale would you put it as?
All right, we're going to live in the Masterpiece scale.
Okay.
And my first release would be a 2-pack of Runabout Runamuck.
Oh, good choice.
And the fandom would buy. Like,
oh yeah. Oh,
that is one that everybody has been asking for, and I don't know if mine would be popular because I would want to be able to pull it back and have it
jump starter.
Have it jump start, but complicated, like real like you don't have to touch the thing except to maybe like twist the head or adjust something. But once it springs up, it's just like any other MP. You can manipulate it like an action figure.
Yeah.
Damn, and maybe going back is a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Going back to car, but it should jump up into robot mode, and then you just have to adjust a couple of quick things.
Man, that's some wild engineering, man.
Yeah, it doesn't exist yet. So
yeah, it does. I'm like, man, how would you do that? Oh, that'll be wild. But that's a good choice. That's a wonderful choice. Yeah, a lot of people have been wanting them to. We are getting some Legends ones, but yeah, we've not seen anything in P scale, which I don't know why. I mean, there's two. Like you said, it could be a 2-pack, or you could make one. And it's an easy recolor or kind of a retoolish kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know why they have not been made yet. Good choice.
Thank you.
Good choice.
What about you, Deluxe?
Man, that's a good question. I've asked so many people, and they usually say, and everything I've want mainly been made. I think I would love to see some Pretenders. I remember a way back, I'm on another show called Shattercast Uncut. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, whatever. I quit every week, to be honest. Um,
That's
we
all part of
saw,
the theater.
oh, yeah, exactly. I want to, it's my attention. I want attention sometimes, so I just say I'm going to quit. We saw some Pretenders being made a long time ago. It was like
Yep.
last year and everything. And I don't know where it hasn't gone anywhere since and everything, but they looked beautiful. They showed Octopunch and everything. But I would love to start with some
Oh
Pretenders.
yeah, no, it was a Kickstarter. That was a Kickstarter that didn't get kicked off.
Yeah. Oh, they look beautiful. Well, the renders did. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
But maybe a punch counter punch, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Be good. I mean, a character like a little niche character,
Yeah.
that nobody has made yet.
I'm actually changing my answer. I would do a line of SH Figure Arts type figures. So around 5-6 inch. All the human and alien characters, and I'd start off with either Spike or Chip.
Chip. Oh, Chip. Yeah, everybody needs a Chip. Come on, now.
Yeah, but I want them to be like, they wouldn't scale with Masterpiece. They would be their own thing.
Yeah.
It was just people standing on a shelf. But but I'd want highly articulated human characters.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I would ask, if people could see us, and once again, I apologize. It's Hangouts. It's not me. I can see Nate right in front of me. We're talking and everything. It's something wrong with Hangouts. I apologize. But how do you display your collection? Tell everybody that can't see, how do you display your collection so they can't see it?
Sure. I've got as I said, I've got a 6 foot by 8 foot space, kind of a hallway that leads nowhere. And the majority of the collection is in Detolfs, or there's another, I can't remember the name of the case, but it's another IKEA glass case.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 of them in different sizes. Everything's lit up.
Yeah, nicely. Mm-hmm.
I've got another couple of cubes that I put other random stuff in with the smoked glass. And those are in the living room area. But because of the smoked glass, my wife doesn't have to look at it unless I turn the lights on. So, it's that is how I display. I display in a manner. Actually, when you walk down into our basement where our entertainment center is, my wife can sit on the couch looking at the TV. And if she doesn't turn around, she never has to see the collection. And that's the way she likes it. So I want to ask, does she support your collecting, or does she just hate Transformers in general? I mean, or she just hated that you collect Transformers? She cannot comprehend the amount of time that we spend together talking about this, doing this, researching stuff. How much money we spend on it, which means we have to spend more time out in the field working. And so she doesn't look at it as anything other than a theft of time from her. She's stuck up for it like once or twice. Somebody was talking about it and she was like, well, you know what though? He does transform something every day. And, you could see that she appreciated that I don't just do this to impress people. I do it because I like it and I like messing around with these toys.
You have fun with it.
So, yeah. So that's how I display. I display in a way that makes it so that she doesn't have to see it, but people come down here that can flick on the lights and they can walk through the small museum.
Mm-hmm. Well, my wife is the same. I mean, she understand because she doesn't collect anything, but she still appreciate that it makes me happy. And like I said, I used to have I have my room full of everything, but when I asked her if I could collect, if I could have stuff, or she asked me, it's like would you want to display anything outside of your room? I said, yeah, it'd be pretty cool. And I showed her these, I showed her the Detolfs and everything. She's like, oh, that looks nice. I wouldn't mind if they look presentable. Like, in my room, no, I couldn't do that out here. She would not have that. But
Yeah.
a little space over here in the corner with 2 detofs and everything, she's fine with that.
Yep.
So
Yeah. In my old apartment, I had painted. We did a scheme where we painted one wall in every room a color, and I had painted this huge wall in my office, Decepticon purple. And
nice.
and when that room was empty, she was like, "Oh my God, this is terrible. What are you thinking?" And then once I got everything in there, all my furniture is black, so it was the black against purple. It was very Skywarp.
Nice.
And it looked really, really good. And she was like, "Oh, I get it now." Because this is the art that I'm hanging. You got that giant purple Megatron thing, and you guys can't see that. I have I have a beautiful picture of Megatron, and it's purple. So anyway, that's how I display. I display in kind of a curated museum style.
Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful. I like it. So if someone gave you $1,000, just out of the blue, if someone gave you $1,000, would you pay bills and be responsible, or would you buy toys or action figures, whatever you want to call
them? Probably a combo. I'd probably buy one toy,
okay,
and I'd probably pay down some debt with the rest. So I'd take $900, and I'd either buy myself a new lens for a camera.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of that lately, like trying to prioritize gear over toys. Because like I said, I've got enough. I'm pretty happy, And so if the opportunity comes up to get a new light or a flag kit or a new slider, I'm going to take that over getting a toy that I didn't know I wanted until somebody showed me 1,000 pictures of it. I know I want the MP Black Arachnia. I know I want MP4. I know I want MP44. So I'm, shell that money away. And then if I get my miracle $1,000, that stuff's already taken care of. I'm getting that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what your boy Kincaid said. Well, first he said that's the first time I've ever heard anyone use very Skywarp as a adjective. And he also said, camera gear, be responsible and everything, and all that stuff. And Jed Vargo says Skywarpy. So your room was Skywarpy.
Yes, it was.
So cool.
It was.
Very nice. That's what most people when I ask that question is like, I would buy, $200 worth of Transformers, and the rest I would buy, pay bills and everything, which that's responsible. That's cool. So do you like cookies? And if you do you like soft or crunchy?
I'm a soft cookie kind of guy.
Okay.
But I mean, okay, it's like the success of Ben and Jerry's, right? Like, you don't just want the ice cream, you want ice cream with a little bit of crunch. So when I'm having a cookie, if I'm getting down on a chocolate chip cookie, it had best be relatively fresh. And maybe the edges are a little bit browned and crisp, but in general, you're dealing with a chewy cookie.
Okay. Yeah, the middle of the salt. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just baked right out of the oven, kind of crunchy on the side. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. So how do you? Okay. So I had a conversation a while back with my wife, and then this is the reason why the question came up. She ordered a cheesecake, and it had caramel on it, but she says caramel. How do you say caramel, or do you say caramel or caramel?
I think it might be situational. I think I say both.
Oh, okay. Now, what do you mean situation? Like in like a certain, like if you're in like a certain type of atmosphere or something, or with other people or different people?
I think I think the people, and if I have heard them use the word one way or the other. Also, I might say, was that a caramel? Can I have one?
Yeah, caramel. Yeah.
But I also might say, oh, does this have caramel in it? Like.
Oh, okay. So the way you use it. Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know how to answer that, Deluxe. I think I'm.
It's fine. It was just a weird question, because I've always called it caramel. and I like a caramel cheesecake and everything. I was like, why do you say caramel? It's caramel, and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
we got a little back and forth and everything. Then we started fighting, and we almost got a divorce and all that good stuff. And I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you're going to fight about something, it should probably be food.
It should be. It should be. Why not? I'm a big guy. I'm always fighting over food, and everything. So, anyways, so with you, I'm out of usually I'm out of questions right now. So, well, let me ask you this thing. So, Transformers have been around for 35 years.
Yep.
What would you like to see from Transformers that would keep you interested for another 35 years? And that'd be comics, cartoons, movies, whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would like to see new story. Like Last Stand of the Wreckers was fantastic. The introduction of the DJD, fantastic. Like, I've got enough red and blue up in here. Like I've got enough primes, and I know his story. Like but that's the other thing. These things have been alive for millions and millions of years, and we're only talking about their last 100 years dealing with humans. Or now some of the books are going back further, but in general, there are millions of years of stories to deal with, and crews that were born and died that have nothing to do with the Earth story.
Okay.
Nice. What are they experiencing when they go to other planets? Like kind of season 3, season 4 kind of stuff, where they're going to different places, they're encountering different races. Those races maybe have different kinds of vehicles that work under different situations than what we experience here on Earth. I'd like to see what those vehicles look like and what that does. If you're going to do something like that, then you can take some of our favorite characters and change their alt mode up for that planet. But but that's what I want to see, is some variation. They can keep selling us the same old story, or they can give me something new. But I like what I'm seeing from X-Transbots with my headlights and my dead end. I'd like to see more stuff like that, where cars behave more like cars. Your jet might, you might be able to turn on a light and get some, like the Siege Jetfire that comes with the effects for the for the exhaust. So stuff like that. I like to see these new things coming in. Okay. Not necessarily gimmicky, but new characters.
I'm with you on the with the millions and years and everything. There's a lot of stuff that could be told and everything, and it doesn't have to be the main character. Optimus Prime, the Bumblebee, doesn't have to be in it all the time.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories is the one where Swoop stabs Ironhide. The Ironhide takes the Dinobots into the wastelands to look for the aerial bots, who have not yet gained the ability to become Superion. And when they go into these Badlands, there's something in the air that starts messing with their circuitry, and they go crazy. So Swoop ends up stabbing Ironhide in the back. And that was it was a mind-blowing story. I was like, what the hell's going on here? This is amazing. Had nothing to do with Prime. Had nothing to do with Megatron. It was just get together a team, go on a rescue mission. And they could do so many of those. And go crazy.
Exactly.
Figure it out.
Very nice choices. Okay. Well, I'm out of questions. I would ask you, you don't do reviews or anything. So where do you see your collection in 5 years?
Well, since I look at this as a starter home, I see myself in a bigger home with a bigger room. Nice. My goal has always been to have a finished basement with like really nice oak cabinets, and you walk in and you push a button and the cabinets kind of transform and reveal the collection.
Nice.
That is what I want. So I'm just going to keep visualizing that until it happens.
Okay, that's a good goal. I would love. We've been talking. We're going to move out of this house also eventually. So we're talking about getting a smaller house and then actually getting. I don't know if you ever go to Home Depot or Lowe's. They got those big, kind of houses that you put in the back, or like kind of sheds or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Mm-hmm.
2-story one that I want to get and fix it up. Put some drywall, put electricity out there and everything, and then just start, putting, all my transformer stuff in that. That's what I'm working for right now. So I can have my own little house, with everything, a couch and TV and all that good stuff. So
I love it.
oh,
And Deluxe 3 times a day. That's how often I'm at Home Depot. Yeah,
oh really?
anytime, anytime I'm like, I'm gonna put up a shelf. I'll just go to Home Depot and I'll get the right screws. These are not the right screws. I'm
Gotta
going
go
back to
back. Gotta go back.
the.
Yeah, yeah. Home Depot. You walk in, you're like, I'll be done in a second. But you're there for about an hour looking at stuff. Like, man, I can improve my house so much.
Yeah, I'm always coming back with a bush I had no idea I was gonna buy, or a chainsaw. It's like just random
Yeah, you
stuff.
need a chainsaw. Why do you not need a chainsaw? I'm like, I need 3 of them. Mr. Jed and Mr. Mike and Kate said that you love stickers for some reason. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
let's talk about
yeah,
stickers.
sure, yeah. There isn't a masterpiece scaled toy in here that has a sticker set available that I don't have. So everything in my collection
Oh,
is everything in my collection is stickered.
really? Okay.
Everything. Yeah. So uh,
Is it just relaxing for you? Is like something like you do to relax as a therapeutic? To
very much so. It really just harkens back to the toys. Like I definitely watched the cartoon as a
Mhm.
kid every day. I was plopped in front of that TV when the syndication came on,
Oh yeah.
and it ran through the. I can't remember what the order was, but it was probably like He-Man, Transformers, Voltron, something like that. And I would just watch all 3 and Thundercats. I would watch all 4 of those and call it a
Hmm.
day.
Yeah.
But the toys were very special to me because I knew they were expensive and I knew that, we didn't come from money. So,
Yeah.
having that toy, it was the whole experience of taking it out and stickering it. Now that process is elongated because I have to wait for Toy Hacks to come out with the stickers.
Hmm.
And sometimes they don't because they think either the character isn't popular enough or there's just not enough need for it, right? Like
Yeah.
the Fans Toys Galvatron is a beautiful, sparkly figure.
Yeah.
So they probably felt like they didn't need to throw some stickers on there. But in my collection, he now looks out of place because he looks naked. It looks like he didn't put his clothes on.
Yeah.
It's like so they enhance every figure, and they do look naked to me until they get the stickers put on.
So basically, it just brings you back to your childhood when you were a child.
Brings me back to my childhood, and
Awesome.
it's also like golfing. It's like leave me alone. I'm concentrating. It's
Yeah.
like this is a moment of zen for me. I'm gonna get this right, and it's gonna look beautiful. So yeah, I
That's
highly
what.
recommend.
I'm sorry. Go
No, I was just gonna say. I know a lot of people don't sticker because they find it tedious or what have you. But if you're coming to a point in your collection where you're like, I feel like I've got all the characters that I want, consider stickering and enhancing your collection. Consider getting the posable hands that the fingers are gonna fall off of. Consider getting
Exactly.
get some weapon packs. But yeah, I think they look gorgeous. I can't wait for the XTB set to come out, but they won't do it until they finish all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And that's it. You don't sticker, do you? You do like maybe some faction symbols.
Yeah, I do faction symbols. Yeah, I just especially the masterpiece line. I don't think some of them need them. I mean, I could do. I thought about doing some of the siege stuff. My chug stuff and everything. Especially my siege Starscream. I think that looks really good. But I just never really thought about doing the masterpiece scaled ones. I just don't think they should be painted good enough that you don't need stickers.
I
But
agree that they should be painted,
yeah.
but they still need stickers.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. Hey, that's a different conversation. If we want to fight off air, we can and everything. But no, Mr. Kincaid said that he watched you sticker a Ocular Max Laserbeak at TFCon in a full room of drunken high people. That is unheard of level of concentration.
Yeah. Well, that one had to get done. I don't know how many of the viewers.
Did it really have to do it? Did it really have to be done?
It had to be done. I mean, look at that.
Is that your OCD kicking in, or is it just come on?
No, it was. I mean, I'd been. First of all, they sold the set prior to con, right? So I had it delivered to my house. It wasn't even the toy wasn't released yet. You couldn't get them yet, but they released the stickers prior to, which was unheard of. So I had it in my hand. It was burning a hole in my pocket, and
gotta get this done.
I gotta get this done. And then I got Laserbeak, and he is just a big black and red blank slate, and doesn't look anything like a tape when you put him in tape mode. He looks like a black and red block. So you throw the stickers on there, and it looks like a tape. Looks like a beautiful cassette tape from the 80s. So
as long as it makes you happy, man, that's all that matters, man.
Yeah, well, I want it to make you happy too, Deluxe. I want everybody to be happy.
I used to. I order toy hacks, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Everything. So I may do some anything. But well, we're done, man. I think we've done this a little over 30 minutes, man. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, taking time out of your busy schedule. I finally got to get you on, and I finally got to do another one. It's been a while, been a minute. I need to start doing more of these because I really like doing them and everything. So I guess tell everybody where you're at if you want to. You don't have to tell anybody where you're at, but can they find you?
You can find me on the Facebooks at Nathaniel Armstrong, and I also have a YouTube page where I did do one review. I did Warbitron Swindle way back in the day, and I enjoyed doing the review, but it's a lot of hard work. So hats off to you folks that actually do that stuff. But if you're looking for video production and you're in the New Jersey, New York area, you can check me out on the YouTubes, and I will hook you up.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yay. Hookups.
Yay.
Anyway, thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody that was actually come in and watch this stuff. I'm sorry about the video. Like I said, Hangouts, it was working at the beginning and then it just went out. And, Hangouts, like I said, Larkin's Lair pointed out they are phasing out Hangouts, so they might not even care anymore. So apologize for that, but you actually got to listen to the audio, so that's really cool. So once again, thank you so much. Hit that like button. It helps the channel out. Like, share, prayer to care bears as always. And I guess I will see you on the next around 30 minutes. And as always, be good to yourself. Hail Hasbro, and good night, folks. I don't know why I'm waving because you can't see it. So
yeah, I'm peace signing. So
that was pointless. I could have been naked in this thing and nobody would even know. So it doesn't matter. Well, except for Nate. Nate would have known.
All right.
All right.
Goodbye,
take
folks.
care. All right.